So my name is George. I lead strategic partnerships at ZeroG or ZeroGravity.ai. And what we're building is the largest AI L1 chain. It's EVM compatible, it's modular, and what we're trying to do is make AI a public good. So today I'm going to talk about how we see the evolution of decentralized AI and how infrastructure is important from the crypto side to actually enable AI applications for the future. Okay, so this is just a brief overview. We're going to talk about ZeroG's vision. We're going to talk about why ZeroG is the most suitable blockchain for AI agents and AI applications. I'll talk about model training, the past and future narratives, some of the things that we see in the application builder side within our ecosystem and outside. And then I would love to talk about some of our developer support programs, such as our accelerator and our guild program. And then some of the use cases of AI in Web3 that I think not only is ZeroG funding, but we see that there's high demand for. So if you're a builder in the space, if you're an investor in the space, the last slide is probably the most alpha you'll get from a person who's sitting at the seat of emerging AI on chain. So I would say stick around for that. Take a picture if you want. Guaranteed there's going to be a few unicorns coming out of that slide. Okay, next. So we believe AI is a public good, and what that means is it should be accessible, it should be safe, it should be secure, and it should also not exploit you, the user of AI. And centralized AI right now actually has all of those issues. When you use OpenAI, when you use ChatGPT and all these LLMs, the centralized versions of them, you're giving them a lot of data and you have no control over it. You've seen how they can use your data in legal cases. You can see how they can give you outputs for prompts that could lead to even suicide. So there's not really a safe guardrailed way of dealing with these centralized AI solutions. And ZeroG helps solve that, and I'll go into it. We believe a public good has to be trustworthy, and so we have cool privacy ways in the way we architected the entire infrastructure. And then we actually reinvented or re-architected the entire infrastructure layer. We have a decentralized storage, compute, and data availability, all tailor-made for AI. So we have an amazing team. You know, I only lead partnerships, but this is the founding team. These are all seasoned operators, mostly from the Bay Area and Southeast Asia, and all of them have unicorns behind them as well. So it's really a very talented team with fundamental AI researchers and great business operators. We have a significant funding. We've raised over $350 million over the past 2 years, 35 million of which was from the community through one of the most successful AI alignment node sales. We had over 100,000 nodes sold to over 10,000 individuals. This was November of last year. And so we have a huge community. We have a huge cap table. As you can see, this is only some of them. And we have the funding ready to be deployed into the builders that we think will make a difference in AI. So here, this is a Business Insider article. You can see, you know, we're positioning ourselves as the blockchain for AI. We think that in order to actually do that, you have to integrate various components of the modular tech stack into the chain. All the other chains you guys are familiar with, they have third-party service providers for the things that ZeroG brings natively on our chain. And so for a developer, when you go to ZeroG, you get the best AI tools, the best AI infra from day zero. Whereas if you go on any of the other L1s or L2s, you have to kind of find it for yourself. So this is our ecosystem. This is not even updated. We have over 450 projects building with ZeroG. And you can just take a look at that, but we can go to the next. Yeah. Great. So this is how our architecture actually looks. Here on the right, you can see that there's closed AI, which is black box, right? There isn't much transparency on the model. You don't know what the weights and biases are, and you don't even know where the data is coming from. You don't know what model version it is. You don't even know who are the contributors to this model. With ZeroG, we have what we call a decentralized AI operating system. The operating system has 3 core components. First is the decentralized storage, the second is a decentralized compute, and the third is the data availability solution. All of that is vertically integrated into what we call a service marketplace, And what we can do now is say, hey, with the storage, you can save a ton of money and you can preserve your data integrity. With the compute, you can do decentralized inferencing and fine-tuning. And then with the service marketplace, you can do decentralized model training. So I'm going to show you a slide later where we show how we did the largest parameter model training run in decentralized AI history. It was 107 billion parameters. Go to the next. So again, if you see OpenAI, Anthropic, DeepSeek, and any of the centralized LLMs, you can see there's a myriad of issues with these LLMs. With zero-G, the real importance is that we're able to increase transparency and trust while you get access to these frontier models. And so, yeah, I think this is also an interesting way to look at it. There's an incentivization mechanism built into zero-G as well. So everybody here is probably paying $20, $30 a month for their ChatGPT subscription. But you're actually contributing to revenue generation. OpenAI just announced $122 billion fundraising. How much of that is going back to you guys? None, right? Well, with decentralized AI, if you use these LLMs on zero-G, you're generating data which can be sold on a marketplace, and then the revenue can be distributed back to you. Okay, this is an interesting slide. I'm not sure how many people know this, but model training for every successive model is getting significantly more expensive. It's growing 2.4x annually. Whereas inferencing and the actual cost per tokens or words is reducing significantly. Now, this is really important because right now, decentralized AI is the best place to take advantage of this arbitrage. I'll tell you why. The model training is being done by 4 or 5 of the major companies. We all know about that. If you see the last one, GPT-5, it's basically almost $500 million. They say future models are going to be $1 billion or $10 billion. So with zero-G, we're like, okay, why don't we get these decentralized training of these models to the community? And the best way to do that is to decentralize the compute network itself. And so if you participate in this training, you can get entitlements towards the rewards and the income and the revenue that comes from these models. And it's also important for security reasons. If 4 or 5 different large companies control all of the AI we use, there's going to be a lot of issues with trusting them. There's going to be a lot of issues with biases. But with zero-G, we're going to distribute this entire network to everybody. There's going to be millions of users who can run these models, train these models, and so decentralization prevents inherent biases and trust issues. And then the inferencing cost. If things are getting cheaper to build and to use, what's happening is you can create amazing AI applications out of the box very quickly. So for app builders, this is the golden era, right? With this, you can create applications from 0 to 1 very easily. And zero-G has these launch pads where you can just come in and with one prompt, create an entire application. And so stay tuned for that. We're going to release it very soon. This is what I was talking about. We broke the world record for the largest decentralized model training run, 107 billion parameter model. It was up to 95% cheaper than centralized solutions. And yeah, this is the Dial-a-Cox paper. You guys can search it and take it out. Check it out. It's actually a very big breakthrough. And our socials has a good overview about what that means. You know, if we can, as a decentralized AI community, if we can outperform centralized AI, people will take us seriously. If we cannot, they're just going to say this is an additional barrier or an additional layer or even a scam that centralized AI will never ever adopt. Yeah. So on-chain AI, as I mentioned, it's again what we're focusing on is censorship resistance, transparency, scalability. Monetization is also built into all of this. You can become active contributors to the network, providing your GPU at the bottom. You can be active participants by doing data labeling, data collection, and distribution. And so we're creating an entire ecosystem where wealth can be distributed to everybody. And that's what we mean by a public good. Okay. And so these are some of the other ways in which we believe, Web3 is able to help AI, but also how AI can help Web3. I won't go into all of that, but again, it's really about the trust, auditability, how do you get to be an active participant in the models that are being used, things like that. Yeah. I think we missed the slide. Do you want to go back? No? Okay. You can go to the next, that's fine. Okay, so here's what we mean when we say the decentralized AI infrastructure, and also what are the outcomes. So if you see, whenever there's an important infrastructure that's built, there's a significant application that takes advantage of that infrastructure. And then there is a feedback loop where the successful application will continue driving more successful infrastructure builds. So in 2014 to 2022, we are all here, HSC, Ethereum did their ICO. That created tokenized capital markets where people can fundraise and actually distribute revenue and rewards towards holders or of the tokens, which represent shares of the company. And so what that did was it said, hey, if you have a cool company or an application, we're going to release a token and you can buy it and actually be participants and owners of it. And so that's where you got the ICOs, and then you had a lot of AI applications and projects and companies that launched, like Singularity and Near, and that was cool. In 2016, Jensen Huang from NVIDIA delivered the first DGX chip to OpenAI. And so up till that point, the NVIDIA chips were used for maybe Bitcoin mining, maybe gaming, not so much AI. But then after that delivery and after OpenAI started leveraging it, what happened was in the decentralized AI space, we had a huge emergence of decentralized compute network providers. We had Akash, Render, Ionet, Aether, all these guys came into the play. And there was a lot of value that was created that way. There was a lot of ownership rights that was distributed again to the community. 2020, 2021, we know about the DeFi era. We know about all these cool NFTs. NVIDIA released the H100, and then you can see the entire evolution in 2023 to 2025 of these LLMs. So what does that mean on the applications? Well, with the DeFi primitives, you have Hyperliquid, you have Web3 Telegram trading bots, you have these axioms and GMGN, you had all these cool speculative ways to participate in the market. We had Pump Fund with the Launchpad stuff. But then with the LLM stuff, in 2023, 2025, we had an amazing AI on-chain agent meme coin summer, right? We had Virtuals, Eliza OS, Truth Terminal. All of these things were possible because fundamentally infra in the AI space on the Web2 side developed and launched. And so after that, 2024 onwards, even to 2026 onwards, what we see is there's going to be more and more ownership rights going to people to participate in decentralized training, owning more of your data and providing more of your data to these models. And that's what we're focusing on at Zero G. We have launchpads like BMO.party where we can do decentralized training runs. We have OpenClaw instances in your browser. That's what Gast AI is. We have Zero Studio, which is going to be a vibe coding launchpad. So you can just come in, put a prompt, and from 0 to 1 have a fully functional AI application. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then we're seeing a lot of healthcare AI companies coming in and utilizing Zero-G infra as well. So now how can we support, right? I showed you in the first slide we have a lot of money, which is great. How do we distribute this money to get the most impact and drive our vision of making AI a public good? So there's two core programs that I'd like to highlight here. The first is this Guild on Zero-G program. This is more of like a community building program where we're open invite to any projects or any companies that want to build using Zero-G's tech stack. And you can be on any chain. You don't have to deploy natively on Zero-G's chain. Our storage and compute is modular, so it works on all other chains. And so this is an open invite to come in, try out our infra. We're pretty happy if you're an AI application, you're going to be really happy with how much we've scaled this infra. And then you can get tech support, co-marketing support, some funding as well. So we have an $88 million ecosystem fund, and the first phase of this Guild program has around $8.88 million. The second program, which is really important and time sensitive, is our Apollo Accelerator program. Apollo is our flagship AI accelerator with the Stanford folks, the Stanford Blockchain Accelerator, and some Silicon Valley experts. It is a huge program that we've partnered with Google Cloud and Privy, and we're investing up to $2 million per project for up to 10 projects over 10 weeks. And what we're going to do is we're going to provide you with the best industry mentors, great funding, and great AI infrastructure. Some of the projects, we've already opened the applications about 2 weeks ago. We have a ton of applicants. You don't even have to be a Web3 company. You could be a Web2 AI company, and you could still participate in this. And we're seeing a lot of demand from Web2 AI, actually. And so it's $20 million total. We're looking to close the applications after ETH Global. So I know some of hackers are here, and they're going to participate at ETH Global. We're likely going to close applications around April 10th, and the program is set to start around April 21st. So if you're building an AI company, if you're more on the later stage, I would say the Apollo program is great. If you're early stage, the Guild program is better. Okay, so this is where I said the most useful slide probably for people here who are speculators or builders. Okay, again, we have over 450 projects building with zero-G. So I can tell you what are the different trends that we see and where are the agents, where are the AI applications, where are the builders, where are they spending resources and time? Also, where are foundations like zero-G investing? Like, where is our capital going? So, the first thing is to make AI user-friendly. Web 2 AI users will not come to Web 3 if it's not user-friendly. And so we're seeing this with vibe coding, we're seeing this with wallet abstractions and paymasters and things like that. Autonomous AI agents as well. We think agent payments, fixing the guardrails for autonomous AI agents is the future, along with privacy. We think privacy is really important. And so if you can, for example, do your inferencing and fine-tuning in a privacy-preserving manner, I think the Web 2 people can say, hey, this is great. I'm not afraid of losing my data, or I'm not afraid of being abused by a larger corporation. Web 3 can solve that. Obviously, DeFi trading, prediction markets, we've actually invested in several prediction markets that are using AI agents for insights and automated predictions. You can see on Polymarket, there's a lot of agents that are actually doing a lot of the bets and arbitrage. Perpdex's monetization of user data. I think these are two important things as well. If you're able to create a good data marketplace for IoTs and RWAs, there's good value for that. And then decentralized LLMs and model hosting. I think that's also important. If you can actually take centralized LLMs and add decentralized components to it and overall increase the scalability, the throughput, and the privacy, there's a huge gap in the market right now for that. And the last thing is healthcare AI and robotics. I see robotics is cut off a bit, but embodied AI is pretty cool as well. So zero-G, actually, we have 2 robots, just here at the ETC. We're actually running AI models within robots, right? And what we're able to do is say, hey, we're going to give a camera to one of our employees, and they're going to conduct their day like they normally do. The robot is going to learn from the employee, and it's going to train the model locally in that robot and do cool things. And so we think there's going to be a huge resurgence in this whole model training side, but for robotics. And healthcare AI is another one. Because we solve privacy and censorship and security of your data, healthcare is a great industry that we're seeing some cool things, right? Aggregating your wearable data, getting your own personalized health instructor, drug discovery, these are huge industries, and you can look at zero-G's, Guild program website, and you can see some of the healthcare companies that we've invested in. So I think I'm way over time. There's a next slide, which, yeah, you can scan these. Yeah, there you go. This is our space panda. It's our mascot. So there you can see the ecosystem program for $88 million, our accelerator, some documentation, and then this one aggregates everything. So thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, I'd love to chat after.